UPT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Where can you see breathtaking aerobatics and your favorite ticket personalities all at the same time? How about the Lincoln Guardians of Freedom Air Show at Lincoln Air Park on August 26th and 27th? Fly by our booth in the media tent to see your favorite hosts and former Huskers from the ticket. We'll see you there.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too. Perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
With 20 years in the financial services industry, Corey Callahan of Heritage Financial Services works with families and businesses to reach their financial goals. Whether it's growing assets, protecting your assets, employee benefits, or business succession planning, Corey can help. Contact Corey Callahan at Heritage Financial Services at 402-432-7378 or on Facebook at Heritage Financial Services-Corey Callahan.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
When you're not the type to take the path of least resistance. When you prefer being in the driver's seat. When you ask for forgiveness, not permission. That's when the magic happens. So embrace being spontaneous. Throw caution to the wind. And embark on your next adventure. Palm Beach Tan. Embody your true colors. Join today and get your first month free, featuring Australian Gold.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through March 5th is fresh cut chuck roast for just $5.99 per pound and 29% off all soap and skincare products. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or at 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
If you have a fence, patio, or landscaping project to complete this spring, Sunbelt Rentals is here to help with augers and auger drives in various sizes, plus electric concrete mixers. For tree trimming projects, they have a great selection of chainsaws, pole saws, and hedge trimmers, along with a towable lift or ladder to get you where you need to be. Sunbelt Rentals has everything you need to make your spring projects easy. Sunbelt Rentals, online at sunbeltrentals.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
It's $2 night on Friday at the Icebox as the Stars look to extend their winning streak to 5 games. $2 beer, $2 hot dogs, and more as Lincoln matches up with the Waterloo Blackhawks. Go to LincolnStars.com and get your $2 night tickets today. That's LincolnStars.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Inside the Huddle with Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Fires a pass, and it's intercepted by the Huskers at the 25, Jay Foreman. And Foreman takes it down to the 19-yard line of Oklahoma. Another big play by the Blackshirts.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
What up, Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle. Once again, coming at you live, 1040 Oak Street. This is, I guess, post-mortem, I guess, whatever you call it, after Nebraska-Utah officially got busy New Year's Eve. And obviously, we've had multiple shows. You had the Jay Foreman postgame show that was active, and then obviously had a couple days of the weekly shows as well to deal with the aftermath. But this is Inside the Huddle. We'll cover, obviously, Nebraska-Utah, and obviously the page turns quick as, obviously, today's Sunday. The portal is open. I call it the vortex. And so there is a little bit of Nebraska news, national news that affects former Huskers, I guess, if you could say. We'll cover the college football playoffs or give our thoughts on college football playoffs. Obviously, want to give congratulations to Nebraska men's basketball before we even get started, and Fred Hoiberg and company and the players and staff and all that. Seizing the moment, beating Tom Izzo, well-respected Michigan State team coming in here at number 9, Nebraska 13, and it's a different team. I think they've obviously I wouldn't say that they went from a Cinderella story of a good or feel-good story of the nation's longest winning streak from the Crown, and obviously a little bit of a strategic cupcake schedule moving forward. But then I think as the challenges became bigger, this team has found a way to get the W. Oklahoma was a big step for them, being down and not looking good up there in South Dakota, probably for the first half. And then obviously Jamarcus Lawrence, kind of got the party started. And I think Nebraska's been off to the races ever since. So, that game with the packed house, I mean, I watched it on TV. It was tremendous to, hear the noise and the intensity through the TV. But that you don't get that type of effect of a home court advantage if you aren't playing well. And so they played well enough to win. It was probably a little bit of a rock fight, choppy game. But Michigan State tries to muddy the waters up. And Nebraska has a little bit more toughness and team toughness from top to bottom than I think they've had in quite some time, both mentally and physically, with the size and the better version of Burkay and obviously Rink and obviously Sanford. So, tip the hat to them.
Yeah, Jay. Haven't introduced me yet, and you just threw me in here. You didn't say I was over here, but that's fine.
Yeah, we got the better Nick. You got a new Nick. Everybody knows you because you've been on Old School. So
I've been on. Yeah, you were the one to finally introduce me.
Yeah,
it's awesome. But I mean, Nebraska basketball. I mean, what a moment! I was here Friday, and that's all the talk was. After that bowl game, everyone kind of wanted to wipe the slate clean and.
Oh, it's easy. It's an easy excuse. I think people were looking for excuses not to talk about football, and that's all good.
But to handle that moment, I remember I chopped up the Fred Hoiberg reel, and he was talking about embracing the moment, how they just have to embrace the moment. Yeah. And it was a rock fight, like you said. I think that was the first game Fred Hoiberg's won where they haven't scored 60+ points in his tenure here. And they just found a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do. I mean, you play against good opponents or like opponents that they're not going to roll over and just let you smoke them by 20, 30 points unless you're playing out of this world. Mm-hmm. And they generally come back and get the game within a respectable, margin. So this was a tough battle from the very beginning. Nebraska jumped up. Michigan State made a run. And then it was obviously back and forth, and then Nebraska had a little bit more in the tank, I feel like. And I think Nebraska outplayed Michigan State for the majority of the game. And so I think they earned that victory. I think probably the coolest thing is that, now they really are, you can tell they're believing in themselves now, but internally where, you got Rink Mass and say, listen, eventually we'll probably be a top 10 team. Obviously, I'm assuming after this next ranking's coming out, we don't need to storm the court anymore. So
that was my next question. What were your thoughts on storming the court?
I don't mind it. I don't even care if I don't even care if Nebraska ends up being top 5 team and we beat number 8 or number 10. If it's a big game, man, go ahead. Have at it.
My take on it was this was uncharted territory for the program.
Yeah,
they've been in these games. They've beaten top ranked teams before. They beat Purdue last year, and that was a big deal and everything. But this was a game that kind of defined the season. There's the naysayers. You beat this team, but you beat this team. You struggled with New Hampshire for a bit or whatever. Or is this team legit? And then to win a game in that fashion that comes down to the wire, the fans obviously played a big factor in the end with that free throw. It was just a moment that just says, hey, this team's legit, and I just hope they don't come out flat against Ohio State here in the next 24 hours, because they have another game, playing at Columbus.
Yeah, which is a harder place to play, and Columbus or Ohio State has a couple really good guards, and they're a veteran team, and they're up and coming. I like their coach. They're always going to be athletic. They're always going to be big. So it's another battle. I mean, that's probably the hardest thing that I think players and coaches have to deal with around here in any sport, is dealing with success and then getting back. And this is probably in general, sports in general now with this, the younger generation, is dealing with success, completing your goal, having a big victory, and then coming right back and get hyper-focused because you're playing. There is no cupcakes after this. There's no more kind of, Southwest Louisiana, Lafayette State and stuff like that. So, you're right back into it. And now you're into the gauntlet, or going to be in the gauntlet that you're going to get everybody's best shot. This is new charted territory, and you're 100% right. The magnitude of this game in Nebraska's been in other sports, in particular football, ranked at a time playing another ranked team. I remember when Scott Frost and we had game day here in Nebraska, it was here, and that's kind of like being ranked, and we got blown out. When Mike Riley was ranked and we played at Ohio State, got rocked up. Well, this one was, Nebraska's kind of inched their way up to being 13. Michigan State's number 9. They played a tough schedule. They only had one loss coming in, and the magnitude of winning it. Now it's another step up. You've done that. You've made yourself legit, here, fan base, nationally, right? Yep. No matter what happens. Now you have to go from the hunter to the hunted. And that's a totally different mentality, because now you have Ohio State's attention. Now it's not like, oh, man, this, are they good or they're not good? They beat it, Kansas State team. That's not the ranked Kansas State team. They beat Oklahoma and they're still in transition. No. You beat Michigan State. You've beaten Creighton. You've beaten the 2 teams I said previously. Now you got to now you're the hunted. Now people are coming for you, and it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it.
And conference play is no joke. I mean, they have a month of January where they're going to have there's no days off in the conference, right. And then they close out the month at Michigan, and Michigan's been on a tear.
They look like the best team from start to finish. Like from the start to right now, they look like the best team in the nation, and there's nobody has an answer for them.
They just score. I watched the game before the Nebraska game on Peacock when they played USC, and I was like, maybe USC. I saw
with athletes and stuff like that.
It's like maybe they can give them something, a Friday night game, maybe something after New Year's. And no, Michigan just handled business from start to finish. It was. Yeah. I think USC clawed back a little bit in the end of the first half, but then they just pulled away. I mean, if you're scoring 90+ points in college basketball on a nightly basis, you're gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah, well, they're doing it. They can hit you in the inside game. They can get you at the mid range transition. They play hellified defense because they're long, and then they got stretch 4s and 5s. So essentially, they're just like Nebraska. So it's gonna be that game's gonna be great. But the one thing about when you go into Big Ten play and conference play, it's a lot more physical. As you play in the conference, people are going to pick up on certain tendencies to make it harder for you to be successful. But the physicality along with that. Now, hopefully, the confidence that Braden Frager has gotten in the Garcias and all those guys that you've played, the Jacobson that have given you good minutes, they're going to have to play another minute or two, just because of you need depth on your bench, and you got to give them good minutes. Giving us good minutes. This is kind of like the first 6 games in a football season for like Frager and the younger guys, or stuff like that. So now you're no longer like a new player. So now you got to really play like winning basketball, and it's going to come down to the little things. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nebraska handles it. Starts with Ohio State, and then people will be excited because I think they're on the road. So it's a good test. Actually, it might be the schedule sets up, I think, good for them. Have this home victory, get patted on the back, get back to work, probably, and you got a break. So you get a little bit more rest time before, school gets back. Get on the plane, hyper focus, understanding that you got a game Ohio State team waiting for you there in Columbus. So once again, want to tip the hat to Fred Hoiberg and all the players and stuff. They definitely have earned it, and it's well deserved. And that's great to see. Now, back to Nebraska, Utah. We got about another 10, 12 minutes cap on the season. I mean, obviously, a lot's happened since the Iowa game, and a lot of transition. Both, it started out with the rumors with Dylan, and then it happened very quickly, which was crazy. So that kind of like were you waiting for one last little glass to crack, and it's probably something that years down the road, you probably both sides could probably like figure like, oh, we could have probably done better together. And in part, you see that sometimes in sports. You saw it with Shaq and Penny and all this other stuff, right? And Shaq and Kobe. I'm not not comparing the two, but it just happens. And then, but that stuff kind of boils over into the field because it takes away from your team, and that's when you're in a leadership position. You got to understand, you put the team before yourself, and then. Obviously, Coach Rule had to make some decisions, and that's the profession of the business. When you feel like you didn't reach expectations, or certain parts of the team weren't performing at a certain level, or you probably felt like, the philosophy was not going to be in line with what you wanted at that particular position or like position group, D-line, and obviously offensive line, and obviously coordinator. So you make some transition there. And then you go play a bowl game, and you start out good, started out quick, and then obviously Utah made some adjustments, and then they start. It's the second best ranked offense in the nation. They showed you why, and so you leave that game knowing, okay, you got some good things. You saw, okay, we were able to pound the ball, but Utah's defense was notoriously bad pretty much last 6 games of the season. They gave it like 400 yards rushing to Kansas State. I mean, that's old school 90s running. Then 260 something the game before. So that was there, and then had some injuries, and so you got to see some young guys. You guys see a little bit in the future, but also you see that with the portal being open, and then obviously with re-recruiting and signing your present day roster, that they got a lot of work to do, and so they have no other choice but to go to work. And it's a hard thing to do, right? And you look at it, and you just see Raheem Stewart just went in there at the portal. Nebraska obviously picked up McKinley, the quarterback for Notre Dame, backup quarterback for Notre Dame. So what that tells me is it's going to be just roll the ball out, and as of right now, him and Latif are going to go at it, which is obviously what you want to do, and potential and the arm strength and all that is there. And then you'll see where it goes. We got an Iowa State offensive lineman that's here. He can play. He's a tough guy, and that's kind of what you want. You want to solidify the middle if you can get him signed. But then also you got to make sure you evaluate that versus like your present roster, because your present roster obviously a little bit better, and who's going to develop to the point to where you can feel like you're comfortable that they'll go out there and be successful in the Big Ten. Yeah, and that's a hard job to do right now.
The transfer portal is so dynamic. It's ever changing every day. There's always something. Obviously, Kenny Minchie is the rumor coming to Nebraska. I'm just very curious how that quarterback competition is going to look. And hopefully they're not just putting all their money right into Kenny Minchie, because there's more than just the quarterback position.
I think that's why you go get
exactly
a Minchie, is that you feel like, well, he's been a backup, right?
For 3 years.
For 3 years backup. So he's looking for a place to compete.
Yep.
Right? Like a true competition, like a true open competition. Nebraska must feel somewhat confident as of right now, unless somebody like Sam Levitt drops in there.
Yes.
Confidence that they believe that TJ Latif has the skill set and the mental capabilities to be a viable quarterback. And I'm assuming Dana does as well, obviously Dana Holgorsen. And they probably feel like the same, okay, look, They've watched the kid. They know he was ranked high. He's looking for it. It's going to be a true competition. There's no guarantee that TJ is going to start because he was successful, but he wasn't wildly successful where it was like a foregone conclusion. And so that's what you're just literally going to roll the ball out there. But you got to plug some of the other holes as well. And I think the biggest thing that you have to look for in this portal, as I'm looking at it, Dylan Parrott just went in. He's a big defense tackle from Nebraska. And this is where people are really successful, is you got to recruit the people, the person. Because we need more football guys that love football, that it means something to them, that have that leadership, that can leave I wouldn't say a legacy, but obviously leave a standard within the blueprint of what the team wants. Because that's most important. Because in the portal, there's plenty of guys that have different reasons getting in there, right? And a lot of it's money driven, but some of it's they've been forced in there, and some of it you're just looking for an opportunity. But so you got to weed through the guys that are looking for just an opportunity to get a fat paycheck and then, not be able to come in and prove their worth or play up to their paycheck. On the flip side, you have to make sure the guys that are on your roster that got re-signed, they understand the stakes are higher. We're in year 4. We got a gauntlet of a schedule coming down the pipe. And, you got to perform better. And the stakes are higher. The contracts are different. So, look, it's a business now, full-fledged business. You don't have as much leverage. It doesn't go completely, two-way or even Steven, but it's not so one-sided for the players to sit back and just force their way on the field based on their paycheck. So the rev sharing, kind of hopefully helps that. The transfer portal window once, kind of helps that. But where Nebraska's at, they got to really get football guys in here and, find a way to get guys to commit right away.
So with Kenny Minchie, I looked it up. So he's been a backup or a backup role for 3 years. He sat behind Sam Hartman, Riley Leonard, CJ Carr in 3 years. He's played, in some fourth quarters against Purdue, Arkansas, Navy, Syracuse, and Stanford this year. No touchdown passes, but he has a rushing touchdown. So, I mean, that's a solid group of college quarterbacks that he sat behind and learned from, and in a really good system with Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes quarterback is the hardest. When quarterbacks jump in the portal, I'm more understanding because only one can play.
Yep.
And sometimes you get recruited over. And that happens. I mean, I forget the name of the backup quarterback at Michigan. He was a high 4-star recruit when Harbaugh was there as last year. And here comes Bryce Underwood. And Bryce Underwood was never on their radar until they came in with a $10 million check. And the only reason I know about the quarterback is because he's from Charlotte, and I've obviously spent a lot of time in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I think he was a player of the year and all that stuff and so forth and so on. So sometimes you can get recruited over at the quarterback position. And so I understand why guys go in. And we've seen some movement. We've seen Dylan in there. And I think, obviously, the big news today, at least as of this morning, on the flip side, with a little bit of indirect, connection with Nebraska, is Lincoln Kielholtz from Ohio State is going to Louisville. That was one of the first and foremost in the forefront for Dylan Raiola's sweepstakes. So that tells you two things. Obviously, they decided to move on, which obviously Louisville and obviously Lincoln became a viable option. But then also it might tell you that's narrowing down the original cast of characters where Dylan potentially could go. And you always say, look, I think the original ones was Oregon, Louisville, supposedly Miami, and I'm sure there's some other ones that like. But then you always say there's always one like dark horse, right? And so you look at where it could go. I mean, you got to think you got Sam Leavitt going to Kentucky. Kentucky's quarterback, I think, are going
Arizona State. They could do a quarterback. Could do a trade.
I don't think that really affects Dylan because I think Arizona State could be a sneaky one if they decide to, bring Dylan in. But they just kind of got their starting quarterback. And so when you start to see, opportunities, I wouldn't say dwindle, but the musical chairs start to get filled, a lot, I think, with Oregon and Dylan kind of depends on what Dante Moore does. And I think also when you look at it, here's a sneaky one that people didn't pick up. Now, this is just according to 24/7 Sports, is Indiana got Mr. Hoover from TCU.
Yeah.
Right? And that was on the sneak. And then that's a dude that's like a bona fide, when you think of a true drop back quarterback that can kill you in I call it systematic run game. That's him. If you're trying to win, here's what people need to understand about college football, which I think gets just glossed over because a lot of times you got people talking about football that don't really know anything, and that's fine. Is in college football, you have to be able to conventionally, and I'll call it systematically, run the football, and you got to stop the run to win.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, what's, or buts about it. That's point blank. In the pros, you have to be able to you have to win from the pocket. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to win in the pros. Now you got to have a little bit of that RPO action and all the quick game and all that, and then obviously the running attack to go with it. But if you can't play quarterback position from the pocket effectively at the pros, you will not win.
I mean, Josh Hoover, Indiana would be a match. Like,
right.
It'd be a perfect match.
Right.
I mean, look at
the same kind of system.
Curtis Rorick,
right.
Fernando Mendoza, then you throw him in there, and you
run on and people need to understand the difference between a Lamar Jackson and a Hoover and a Russell Wilson. They're way different.
Mm.
Or like a Jalen Hurts when he's playing good, or Patrick Mahomes. They can kill you outside of the pocket, and they're accurate. But what they do is they really hit you with the fundamentals and playing and they play with a great pace in the pocket. So now how does that flip to Nebraska, right? Everybody's looking for, it's crazy. Is like we had a running quarterback in Jeff Sims without the kind of like where the structure that he needed to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wanted a pocket quarterback. We get kind of beat a couple times defensively by a running quarterback. Now we need a running quarterback. What you need to do is you need the best quarterback and leader that you can get possible. Whereas TJ Lateef or somebody that transfers in, they have to come in and take over this team, and particularly the offense, from a leadership standpoint. Yeah. And leadership includes playing the position to win. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you got to be intrinsic to it. Like you got to be in with the guys. And if you run, like here's a good story is like, I was able to watch that Elway documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
One of the best things I think Shannon Sharp said, John was his dad told him he's one of the guys, like truly one of the guys, not for the cameras, but one of the guys. If they were, and I know this for a fact because I talk all the time about Doug Flutie, like when he was struggling a little bit, guys were working harder to play better because we played racquetball together.
Really?
We played basketball together. After we're done we wouldn't be there, right? We play cards. We play like Boo-Ray and all that. We do all that stuff in the locker room. He was right there in it. John Elway, they talked about when they were playing card games, dominoes, or just anything, like just, hanging out in the locker room. He was one of the guys.
There was a brotherhood.
Yeah. And that's what you have. That's where, and you look at some of these other teams, no matter what people say about Mendoza, I mean, he's obviously embodied the team culture and they play for each other. I mean, one of the interesting stories about him is that before he came to Cal, the first thing he asked for is everybody's name with a picture so he knew who he was talking to when he got there.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to jump into the Indiana culture. And it's worked out.
Yeah.
Spectacular for him.
He was the same guy at Cal because I remember when they won a rivalry game to end the year last year at Cal, he had another one of those, one of his famous interviews where he's like, this is for the guys, it's all the guys, and he still gives credit to his guys out in Cal, even though he's playing in Indiana. And I just think it's so unique just for Indiana in general. I mean, talking about that game against Alabama, I thought it'd be a close game in all honesty. I thought Alabama would maybe push them, but Indiana just, I mean, if you would have told me Nebraska basketball would be ranked in the top 10 and Indiana would beat
Alabama and not only beat Alabama, they beat the tar out of them. They physically beat them up. But I think this is a different Alabama team from a physicality standpoint. They came out and tried to be physical at the beginning, and then Indiana has a unique ability to punch back when they get punched in the face, and that's why they are moving on. And so what we're doing is we're moving on to the break. We're going to still talk about the portal. There's another portal move, which is interesting, which kind of indirectly affects us and Dylan. That's just been announced too. So look, the dominoes are moving fast.
As we're sitting here for 30 minutes, it's changing.
It's changing. So Jay Foreman inside the huddle. We'll be right back. Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, to brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently. All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyd Farm Outfitters. Farmers, you need to know about Green Eye Spot Spray. With Green Eye, we replace your existing spray boom with a brand new aluminum boom equipped with camera technology that identifies and sprays only weeds and not your crop. The boom comes with 2 spray lines so you can still broadcast residual herbicide while you're spot spraying weeds that are up. Green Eye users in Nebraska are saving a ton of money on herbicides, but that's just the beginning. Learn more at BoydFarmOutfitters.com. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
Back to Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging. Here is your host, Jay Foreman.
What up, second segment? Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle. I will tell you, sometimes you have to babysit adults. First, Nick is out there blessing everybody with his presence, which is always interesting. Speaking of blessing everybody with their presence, that we have some movement again in the portal. I love the portal just because it's so appealing to watch. Is that very quickly, obviously on the heels of Ole Miss. I'm not even calling it Ole Miss. University of Mississippi beating Georgia. Was it Trinidad Chambliss is obviously taking college football over and potentially the portal over, and maybe the draft, depending on if he's able to get another year. Austin Simmons, who was actually supposed to be was the original starting quarterback, but he got hurt, jumped in the portal. Whatever that game was, January 1st, right? That night, I think he got in the portal right after the game and found a home in Missouri.
I mean, yeah, he was the original starter to begin the year, and then obviously injuries happen. It's not like he got benched or anything. It's just wrong place, wrong time, wrong moment. And then Trinidad, a former Ferris State quarterback, steps into a role and took Ole Miss to college football semifinals now, which is uncharted for that. You never really see a guy like that kind of step in. He came in as a backup, and he's kind of like Cardale Jones essentially, but just a little bit more dynamic than Cardale Jones.
A little bit more dynamic in the sense that he won 2 national championships at Ferris State. Had to work his way up through there. Not a finished product, but obviously really, really exciting. He can throw really accurate on the run, and obviously has taken college football along with Coach Golden. Obviously, they've maximized their opportunity. So, back to the Huskers. I think this, portal class or whatever they're going to try to accomplish with the portal, and obviously maybe potentially the rest of 2026 is going to be interesting because there's some guys in there that can plug holes, and there's guys like that they're going to have a couple linebackers come in. I know one particular coming in from Iowa State that has 4 years of eligibility, or at least they're looking at. That's a guy that you can not only get to come in and push either anybody on the roster. They've been connected to the San Diego State inside linebacker. It looks like White, their outside rusher, is going somewhere else, I think. Is that?
I haven't heard anything yet, but it's looking like that. I think.
So I think he's going to like Texas Tech or something like that. So, but look, and then I think San Diego State's one of their safeties is going to potentially. I know he got offered, but potentially going to come here on a visit. So I think the roster will slowly but surely start to come together by this time next week, you'll probably get some hard commitments. I think this week
it moves quick. Like in the next 4 hours, there'll be something. It's free agency essentially. I like it in a sense of entertainment purposes. But I get it. Guys are in the portal for so many different reasons, but for a fan or a college football, just loving college football, it's just crazy because 10 years ago this wasn't a thing where 2,000 plus players were just in the portal. But I get it from a standpoint of, opportunities, getting playing time, because nobody wants to sit on the bench for three plus years.
No. I mean, but the portal is not all. Not every story is the same.
Exactly.
And if you want to look no further, then you look at the University of Texas Longhorns, whereas you have Arch Manning seems to, over the last few weeks, they're like rounding into shape, living up to the, I guess, the hype and and obviously the potential. And you see that he's actually started, he's throwing, he's doing everything. But his roommate is Parker Livingstone, excuse me.
Yep.
Born in a Texas guy.
Yep.
And a pretty productive receiver. 30 catches, 516 yards, average 18 yards a carry. So 18 yards a catch, excuse me. So he's explosive, 6 touchdowns. Second on the team in touchdowns. The leader is Ryan Wingo, right? And so he's in the portal because of the conversation that he had with Sark and them that they're bringing in, I think, Cam Coleman from Auburn.
Yep.
And essentially said, hey, look, man, thank you for your work, your service. You played a really, really good this year, but we're bringing in, and they're probably Coleman and another guy. Mm-hmm. And no matter what you do, they're probably going to play over you. So you can stay if you want,
Yeah.
But let's just be honest here. You're not going to play. And so that's why he's reluctantly going in the portal, because that's the conversation that you don't hear all the time. And sometimes rightfully so. But obviously there's a lot more of those conversations. And it should be. I respect the coach to tell me no matter what you do, you're not going to play, versus sitting here telling me that I'm going to play, and then you had no intention of me playing. I think, I'm going to give, respect to Sark for that. And then you got to respect Livingstone to say, okay, look, I can deal with it. I don't agree with it, but then I'm a productive player. I know I'll land somewhere else.
And he's going to have a chip on his shoulder then.
Right.
And he's going to land somewhere.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a Texas guy, and that's like I guarantee you that was a dream growing up to play.
Oh, yeah.
And suit up and wear the, Longhorn uniform. You got to play with Arch Manning. Arch, obviously, you said he's kind of coming to himself. I compare him kind of like a rookie NFL quarterback. He took his lumps, but he's starting to kind of find, with snaps and, getting repetition, he's getting better. But yeah, for a guy like that, you kind of get your job taken. Not even, it's not even really your fault too. It's just the guys, Texas brings in,
they're bringing some guys that they are more in tune with and felt like their upgrade. That's their choice. I mean, I think sometimes as an athlete, it's the you got to really release yourself from some of the decisions that he controlled the controllables, right? He's a 6'4", 190-pound freshman. Obviously was a starter, and you have 500 yards, 18 yards a catch, 6 touchdowns, only on 30 receptions. So you weren't the first option. So you did what you're supposed to do. And if they want to bring in somebody else, then that's their choice. And once you relieve yourself of like business decisions, or I guess this is a coaching decision, business decision, you'll be better off, because just because they make a decision doesn't make it mean it's the right one.
Yeah.
Because the time will tell. And I think a lot of times, this hurts coaches, and this is in all levels, pros, college, I guess high school, and I guess club too, or whatever, is that a lot of times these coaches just live for the moment so much, and they don't have a lot of vision, that they're making decisions based on, because they have to either feel like they have to appeal like in this case, a booster, or they view as a lack of production, but you haven't even been able to forecast Livingstone's long-term ability into next year improvement. You haven't even, that means you've leapfrogged anybody in your program that may be a redshirt and is just trying to figure out how to, walk and chew gum on that big campus down there in Austin. So you just stymied their improvement for the assumption that you're going to get the same Coleman from Auburn in Austin with a pocket full of money, but the guy that you are pushing out the door, so you're going for the unknown. And that's where, if it hits, it's great. If you get production, it's great. Like you look back at Pittsburgh when they had Kenny Pickett and Addison, right?
Yep.
And then Addison goes to USC. He wasn't the same type of player, but he got the volume of production, right? He got paid. So you got to go do what you got to do. But would USC win any more games?
No.
They were the same disappointment.
Same team.
Right. With the same production from the wide receiver position, with just a different, cast of characters. So when you think about you're making these moves, are you making it to kind of like show like you're doing something, or are you showing it, or are you doing it to win? Because the winning moves are the ones you don't hear about. The winning moves are strategic. They don't have a lot of drama into it. And if you want to look at it, Indiana, and they got Coogan from Notre Dame, plucked him out of there. Kirk Cincinnati said that was the most important move that he made in the portal, or one of them.
I mean, yeah, they have him, Mendoza from Cal,
Right.
Trinidad was a D2 guy, and that's 2 of the 4 teams in the playoff.
Or like a couple years ago, Minnesota got Brosmer, and obviously he's in the NFL right now, right? A 1-year dude. And, those are the ones that generally work. And so if you're Nebraska, I think if you can take that kind of business model, recruit the person, obviously they'll have athletic ability enough to be at the, the level that you're recruiting at. It'll pay off, longer term. I think it'll really uptick your team as far as mental toughness and physical toughness, how you go about your business. And money won't change how they go to work. And that's what you have to really forecast. The biggest deterrent is what happens, once you get paid, once you get the notoriety, especially around here in Nebraska, where you're probably one of the most covered teams in the nation as far as the amount of people that cover the team.
well, if you bring in some of those San Diego State guys, those guys are playing, 9 o'clock start time here games on CBS Sports Network or whatever. And then you're coming here, you're going to have a chip on your shoulder. You're playing for a bigger brand. Your DC's here. I'm just curious if those guys come land here, those guys are obviously going to have a big chip on your shoulder because you have an opportunity to play at the Power 4 conference. And like you said, one of the most covered teams in the country.
It's going to be interesting to see, what happens, how many of those guys, I think quite a bit of their defensive guys is winning the portal. And I guess, that might be, I guess part of like, look, they had a really good coordinator, and that's, obviously they felt really obligated to him, and so you got to respect that. And so you got to see where they're at as far as, at the end game, if they come to Nebraska. And when you look at it, every position group that's went into the portal from San Diego State they need, but you got to project, do those players project to Big Ten players, right?
Yep.
So you got Cody Cornelius he went in. He's a 6'1", 290 defensive tackle. Probably doesn't really measurable-wise get to the Big Ten. But then you got Hunter Haynes, who's been a safety for them, 6'2", 205. That fits right in. You got another D lineman, Sidney Dupay. He's 6'5", 275, probably too light, 285. So it doesn't always go to Big Ten measurables. But then you got Trey White, who's obviously coveted by a lot of people, right? And he's 6'2", 255. Last 2 years, he's had almost close to 20 sacks. I've watched some tape on him. Not a big initial move guy, but he has really good pass rush discipline and retraces, and he really can close on the quarterback, and that's what we need. So he could fit in right now at an edge. He could put his hand in the dirt and play on 2 feet, so I don't think that would be a problem for him. And so that's the one that you're probably really looking to see what happens with him. And I know they have an inside linebacker as well that isn't officially in the portal, but is potentially at least 24/7, doesn't have him in there yet. But it'd be interesting to see what happens with any of those guys. And because that is kind of what you want. You need to rehab the defense. You transfer a portal or portal these guys in there, and the rest is history, because then they can kind of spread their wings out there. Now they have to be all that they're built up to be, and that's the most important thing.
And college football's ever changing. Like you said at the beginning of the show, next to 7 days from now, Nebraska's roster could look a whole lot different.
Yeah.
It's all going to depend. You mentioned some of those guys, some of those guys could belong right away. Like you said, like White, he could pluck him in right now, and it's like, all right, he belongs. He belongs on the roster. I just think it's going to be very interesting what Nebraska's moves come, because obviously you're looking at the quarterbacks and whatever else. I mean, obviously depth's always nice. So I'm just very curious where which direction they can go in, because they can go in so many different directions here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. But it'll be interesting to see, like you said, where they go and how much depth they get out there, because not everybody that they get out of the portal is going to be like penciled in as a starter.
Yep.
And so it's going to be interesting to see what they do moving forward. Look, it moves quickly. It just isn't this matter of a minute before we go to break. Christian Harrison, from the safety from Cincinnati, right? Obviously we saw him the first week of the season. He just committed to Arkansas. His dad is Rodney Harrison, so the bloodline with him. And so that's another guy that that's going to be an impact player going from Cincinnati, and when healthy had a pretty salty defense, is going to obviously the SEC. So how teams are strategically moving and going along is obviously very interesting. University of Mississippi just picked up an edge, Jonathan Maldonado from Nevada, 6'6", 233. So that lets you know a body type that they're going after, because they got Princewell down there playing for him, and they probably project him trying to go to the pros. So anyways, we're going to take a quick break on Inside the Huddle. We'll talk a little bit of, win or go home tonight. We had a couple games that had a playoff implications last night or yesterday, and then they got one big one tonight with Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle. We'll be right back. Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures, but buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyd Farm Outfitters. Farmers, you need to know about Green Eye Spot Spray. With Green Eye, we replace your existing spray boom with a brand new aluminum boom equipped with camera technology that identifies and sprays only weeds and not your crop. The boom comes with 2 spray lines so you can still broadcast residual herbicide while you're spot spraying weeds that are up. Green Eye users in Nebraska are saving a ton of money on herbicides, but that's just the beginning. Learn more at BoydFarmOutfitters.com. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
And electrical.
You're listening to Inside the Huddle with Jay Foreman, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
What up? Last segment, Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle. Right into it, NFL. Obviously, the recap. Tampa Bay, and it looked like a monsoon, was able to do what they needed to do and beat Carolina. Now they got to depend on the New Orleans Saints to beat the Falcons to get into the playoffs.
I mean,
that is not a good place to be when you were sitting where they were sitting at like 7-2.
I remember like the first 4 weeks of the season, everyone's like Baker Mayfield for MVP.
Yeah,
Baker
comeback kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone's like Bucks look legit Super Bowl, and now they're 8-9, and now they have to rely on a game that is a throwaway game for both the Falcons and the Saints. I think that's crazy. That's how a division comes down to a game that.
And then Carolina can get a promotion by losing.
Exactly. They should have flexed the Saints and Falcons game to 9:30 a.m. and just let them play a standalone game.
Yeah, they should have, and or send them over there to London or something.
Play in
London. Yeah,
that's their Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's the NFC South Super Bowl right there.
The only hope that Tampa Bay has is New Orleans is playing really good right now. So is it. Atlanta played really good, and so they're going to battle. Both those two franchises don't like each other, so it should be a true contest. In Seattle, I think surprised a lot of people going to Candlestick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And beating the Tar. Not the beat. It wasn't a full beat down, but they had full control of that game against San Francisco to secure the number 1 seed, get the first round bye, and that is not who people had on their bingo card to be the number 1 seed in the NFC before the season.
I mean, so they signed Sam Darnold, and they ran the ball at will last night with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. I mean, I liked him at UCLA, and he looked really good last night. I mean, they're going to run the ball. Sam Darnold's not going to make mistakes, and they're going to play defense. I mean, they're golden. I mean, I did not think Seattle would almost be I thought they'd be like a 9-8 team knocking on the wild card beginning of the year, but now they have the number 1 overall seed, which is, I mean, we haven't seen that since the Legion of Boom era.
Yeah. I mean, it's I mean, they've I think it's a great situation for them. They're off the beaten path. I think Sam Darnold fits them. I think he's redeemed himself after the 2-game slide and supposedly cost them millions of dollars, which did cost them millions of dollars for the Vikings when they were at Detroit. Then obviously that game down in Phoenix against the Rams in the playoffs, he did not look good. He's been pretty dang good for Seattle, along with the running game and Smith and Jigba. And that defense is one of the best defenses. I mean, I think the best defense in the league. You think about Houston, the Chiefs, and then you think about Seattle, and they're up there, and they are good at all 3 levels, and they have depth, and they're able to beat up on a beat up 49ers team. I mean, Trent Williams didn't play, Pearsall didn't play, but George Kittle was back, and they stymied that offense that had been clicking on all cylinders. So, tip of the hat to Seattle.
Yeah, number 1 seed. NFC runs through Seattle.
And then now we have the game of this is probably the most exciting game, I think, tonight, where it's going to be Baltimore at Pittsburgh for all the marbles.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be easily the most physical game all year. And it always is very physical. A lot on the line. Lamar Jackson's coming back. We'll see if the Ravens are able to get an uptick in production along with Derrick Henry. And can Aaron Rodgers do what Aaron Rodgers was brought there to do and win a big game? So, along with the physicality of Pittsburgh against Baltimore, that's probably the best way the NFL could probably dice up a kind of topsy-turvy season. And, with the Chiefs obviously being out early and not a lot of known franchises that are sexy in the media.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get it old school football, no holds barred. The referees are going to have to be on point. You got to let these guys get after it. So, it'll be interesting. I think Pittsburgh will win, but I think it's going to be a really good game.
AFC North, it's going to be a fight pretty much. It's a fight. The defenses, that's kind of what built those teams, kind of, the Ray Lewises of the day,
right.
The Steelers, they're obviously, you could name anybody. That's just how those teams are built. It's pretty much a play-in game, essentially. So I think it's huge. You got Aaron Rodgers trying to, they brought him in to get him to the playoffs, get the Steelers over the edge. And then you have Lamar Jackson back with a hot Derrick Henry who ran all over the Packers.
Yeah,
so
just ran for like it seems like 8,000 yards.
I mean, yeah, it was like they scored at will, and it looked like he was playing on rookie on Madden.
Yeah.
I mean,
or when he was in high school. When he was in high school.
I have the famous clips of him running all over.
He's the biggest dude out there, but we shall see. Anyways, that does it for Inside the Huddle. I don't know when we're going to keep it going or not. So appreciate you guys listening. We'll see. We'll be up there. I'll hopefully have some updates on old school during the week. But Jay Foreman, appreciate you listening on this Sunday. We'll holler at you hopefully next week.